Alright lads, welcome back to another daily upload. In this video, I'm fucking hyped. We're going to go in depth onto a lot of topics right now. I might answer a lot of questions regarding maybe rotation, but specifically choosing the perfect layer. That's what we're going in depth with. It's something that a lot of people don't really talk about. Like, you can find a lot of rotation videos, but when it comes to layer choosing and basically height over low ground, and then you got the middle ground, you know, in between height and low ground. So we're going to be breaking it down. We're going to run through some positives and negatives. In my opinion, this shit's off the top of the dome, but I have a good few tips because I was thinking about this video for a while, and it's something that I've been struggling with until I figured some shit out. So I'm going to come with it. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. Obviously, at any point throughout the video, I got to do this little bit of promo. You got to hit that sub button, man, if you liked it. If you don't like it, fair enough. You know, you're probably not going to make it through the whole video, but if you do, I would appreciate it if you hit that sub button and became part of the family. We're making some great shit over here. We're making some great content to benefit the community. So that's what we're rolling with. If you have any tips or any certain types of videos you want to see, let me know in the comments. And that's it. We're going to go straight into the video, starting on low ground. I would say high kills equals high risks, okay? If you're looking for kills, there's more of a risk because every fight you could go into is a potential another ending to your game. You could potentially die from every fight. That's why if you fight with, like, alright, let's put it like this scenario. You have a guy that has 0 kills in the whole game, and you have a guy that has 10 kills in the whole game. Who is more likely to die? It's the guy with the 10 kills, because he had to go and fight 10 people. So in every fight, there was a chance of him dying. That's basically where I'm coming with. If you're low ground, there's a lot of bottom feeders, there's a lot of fraggers down there, and importantly, there's a lot of people in shambles who are just spam building that could ruin your game. There's a lot of shit going on low ground that you want to be prepared for if you're going down there. Also, low ground, yeah, a lot of kills. That's good. You're going down there to get kills, whether it's for points or health or mats, whatever it is, a pick or something like that. Just be careful. And obviously, it's uneven territory. So if you're ultimate low, I mean scraping your ass off the ground, when you're like running over bumps, your mats, your builds, you could get trapped under some shit you don't want to be trapped under. So you got to be thinking like that. You got to be prepared for that. Because when it comes up, it's literally just going to be down to luck if you win that or not. Because you weren't prepared for it and he wasn't prepared for it, like whoever you're fighting. So there's a lot of different things you got to be thinking of. That's obviously your uneven territory. Then you could get trapped in builds. You know, there's a lot of pieces down there that aren't yours, under your control. Whereas if you have a certain layer on a different, like other than low ground, like middle ground, if you have a layer that's just yours, no contestant, you know everything's yours. But I'm talking low ground, you're literally just running diagonal, you're running in circles almost. That shit's none of your build, so anyone could pop an edit. You could be sitting under a cone, you don't know. You're not going to be paying attention, or you're not going to be looking out for that kind of stuff. So, then again, low ground is full of all those easy to get kills. You know, people that are low health, probably shambles, probably got grief, or just the terrible players in the game you're going to find down low. More than likely, if they've no knowledge, they're going to be down low, or just trying to play for hype, but that's very just weird. Especially if you're in champs, you know, you're not going to be coming across any terrible players. But I'm just saying, if you're just in some scrims or some shit, or even like me, just vibing in some arena, still be paying attention to that shit. You know, low ground is probably full of people that are shambles, and you can get pretty easy kills. And that's just something I've picked up on in the last few days. I know it might not be a big tip, but you know, there's some people out there that aren't as advanced as other players. Me in this case, I'm not that advanced. You know, I've played my fair share of Fortnite, I have my 1,000 wins, but like, you know, competitive wise, I'm only getting back into it. I did used to play heavy competitive. I had great mechanics. I did a lot of box fight wages back in the day, by like a year ago and shit. Then I went off the Fortnite. That's a different story. That's like a story video. Moving back onto low ground, you know, there's a lot of free loot that just falls from height. If someone gets griefed off height and he free falls, you know, or whatever, his loot is just splattered on the ground. It's easy loot for you to pick up. So there's that. A lot of unclaimed walls. I've already went in depth on that, so I won't mention it again. You're easily targeted on low ground because you have people above you from mid ground and high ground. So that's 2 layers looking down at you that can get easy headshots on you. So you are very vulnerable on low ground, especially if you're building out of wood and metal or whatever. Wood, not so much, but like metal. You know, the way it takes so long to build, you can one-shot that shit as soon as it's made. So you're going to get griefed hard if you're down there. Maybe if you're hidden under a layer or two, like very bottom with like the second and third layers off the ground are above you. Obviously, you still have to fight with that uneven terrain from the grass or whatever you're running on. But still, at least you have a bit of cover above you. So yeah, and it's very hard to take height from low ground straight away. You know, just start cranking up from low ground to get the height. Very hard to do. Now, moving on to the mid layers. Mid layers is basically anything between ultimate height and ultimate low. It's just anything in between there. That's your mid layers. That's what you've got to work with. You can look at mid ground as a positive or a negative. Like mid ground means you have the advantage of shooting at people above you and shooting at people below you. So you can get like intel on people below you, and you can get intel on height to know if they're low on mats or low on health. Or if there is like a potential height that you can take, you know that you have that by being mid ground. It's very easy to know that. But you have to think about the fact that okay, that also means you're on mid ground, which means if you can shoot up to people above you and shoot down to people below you, people below you can shoot up and people above you can shoot down. So you're kind of pinched in between both layers. Sometimes it can work, sometimes it doesn't work. It depends what kind of lobby you have. Personally, I choose mid ground all the time, and that's my playstyle. You'll see it in my videos. You'll see it in tournaments when I'm playing. If I go down that route later on, in the game's life, I guess, because I'm gonna be going down that. I know the game is pretty old and stuff, but I still used to do competitive stuff, like I said. But you know, I just kind of zoned out of it for a little bit. Moving on. It is easier to take height from the middle layer. If you're gonna take height from anywhere, it's best to do the middle layer, because like it's hard to just keep going up and up fighting height to try and take it. But if you can just come up off middle layer, maybe behind someone, bop, get him out of the game, or force him to drop, you have height for the rest of the game. Easy. Easiest way to take height is just do a retake from mid ground, or make a flopper play or something like that. They're all still good plays. Shockwave and go straight through his layer and break him, and then just take the layer. You also have that play, which is very good. Then it's not hard to hold because there's so many layers in mid ground. You can choose from like all the layers, like anything between above low and below height. Anything there you can choose between. So if someone's on your layer, you go up one to the right. Someone's on that layer, you go up one to the right again. You can just keep wiggling. If there's someone on that layer, okay, maybe go down one. And you can just find a nice ground where you can beam people below you and no one above you is going to target you. That's why I love mid ground, because you have so many options. That's why the more options you have, the more plays you can make, the more information you have, you know. So I love middle ground because of that. And the fact that it's not heavy contested. Like the mid layers are heavy contested, but when you find the perfect mid layer, it's not heavy contested, and you can still get like pretty cheap kills. Like it doesn't cost you a lot of mats to kill people. It doesn't cost you your health. All it really just costs you is time and a bit of positioning. But you're happy mid ground, so it's like, you know, it's a W. You won't get many refreshes unless people jump in your box. But yeah, you know, you can get decent amount of kills. You know, you hear from people winning games all the time for mid layers, so you don't got to worry about that. It's easy to rotate through. That's because, you know, there's not many layers, and you can just go around. There's so much room, so you can swerve around buildings and go through pre-made walls. It's pretty good. You can just go up and over, left, right, or under. But on low ground, you kind of just have to go through. It's hard to get up, because if you're on the first 3 or 4 layers, like from the ground, and then +4 high, and if you're at the bottom of that, there's no way you're getting up, because you're just going to be like squashed. You just have to go through it. That's the best way to do it. But that's why I don't like low levels. You just get creamed. If it's stacked and you've got shit FPS and it's laggy, try to do all that while trying to fight Storm and fight the people down there and try to claim piece control. It's just not going to work. It won't work. That's why people that do frag down always have shockwaves or a pad. They'll go down, get a kill, go back up, or 2 kills if they can, and go back up. They don't stay down there for long because it gets chaotic. Then, like I said, easy information. You can pick up so many. You have like the best of both worlds. You can pick up people above you, and you can pick up information on people below you. So that's always a great tip. And then moving on to like high ground and shit like that. You've got bird's eye view, easier headshots. It's awkward for people to like look up and fight you. You need a lot of mats to hold it though. That's a big downfall. Easy kills, but you're not going to get many refreshes because you're beaming down at them. And if you fall, you're probably more than likely going to die. And then again, there's no clutter, so you can rotate freely in a straight line. There are my tips. I like height. Height has more positives than everything, but it also has that one big negative. You can get shot down so easy. Height is the spot. My favorite layer is mid ground. I'm out of here. Hit that like button. Hope you enjoyed the video.